Hey everyone, it's Congressman Jamie Raskin, sending all of my best greetings out to my friends in Maryland's beautiful 8th District and throughout Maryland and across the country. It's my favorite time of the week, Local Hero, when we get to salute the people who make life in the 8th District so rich and so wonderful. And today's Local Hero is a very special guy. He has served his country in so many ways. And I want to introduce you to Commander Everett Alvarez Jr. He was the first American aviator taken captive in Vietnam after being shot down near Hanoi. He became the second longest held U.S. prisoner of war in the history of the United States of America. He is the grandson of Mexican immigrants. He joined the U.S. Navy in 1960 as an aviator, and he graduated from Santa Clara University in California in electrical engineering. And he was a 26-year-old Navy pilot based on the USS Constellation aircraft carrier in the South China Sea on August 5, 1964. He was part of a bombing mission over North Vietnam sent in retaliation after a reported North Vietnamese attack a day earlier on 2 U.S. destroyers. Alvarez's Douglas A-4 Skyhawk was shot down in the aftermath of what is known as the Gulf of Tonkin incident that marked the start of a significant escalation of military action in Vietnam. He endured 8 years and 7 months of captivity at the Ho Lo prison, known by fellow POWs as the Hanoi Hilton, where he was repeatedly beaten, assaulted, and tortured. He was finally released from captivity on February 12, 1973. This month, the U.S. House of Representatives passed H.R. 1097, the Everett Alvarez Jr. Congressional Gold Medal Act, to give a Congressional Gold Medal to Everett Alvarez Jr. in recognition of his exemplary service to the nation. I was proud to be a co-sponsor and champion of this legislation. First of all, Commander Alvarez, congratulations on being our local hero, and thank you for your extraordinary service to America.
Thank you, sir. It's nice to be with you.
Well, when you came back, you relocated in Rockville. I guess you've been in Rockville since the 1970s.
Yes, sir. We've been here since 1976. Came back in 1973 from Vietnam after rehabilitation. Went back to flying and went to postgraduate school, and then came to here, moved into Rockville, and we've been in the same house ever since.
You and your wife, Tammy, have 2 sons. One is a lawyer, Mark, president of Alvarez LLC, and one is a doctor, a medical doctor who is a battalion surgeon in Iraq and also a commander in the Naval Reserves. You must be very proud of the boys. But your career in service did not end with Vietnam. In fact, you served as the deputy director of the Veterans Administration under President Reagan. Is that right?
That's correct. That's before it was a cabinet. So I was the deputy administrator, and I was acting administrator twice in that period. And during that period, I think the most significant thing we did is we expanded the Vietnam Vet Counseling Centers, walk-in centers all over the country. That was a notable achievement that was badly needed at the time.
Well, and say a word about that, because obviously you've had some traumatizing experiences as a prisoner of war. To what extent have you been able to move the Veterans Administration to address post-traumatic stress syndrome and other emotional and mental health effects of service?
Well, it was during that period that PTSD was first recognized as a medical condition, and several programs began back then. But basically, there was a lot of research, and today it's one of the I'm not sure of the term anymore, but it's recognized as a medical condition that and so that the work that was started back then, I think has grown significantly with that.
Your services also come in handy locally. We have within the 8th District the Uniformed Services University, USIS,
Right.
which is a medical school for people going into being medical doctors for the various branches of the service. Tell us about your work there.
Well, I was appointed to the Board of Regents by President Reagan in 1987. And I was chairman of the board twice, each time for a 6-term period. I was the second person ever to serve on that board, not being a non-medical doctor. And the first one was David Packard. And so that the university matriculates 170 students each year. It's the military academy. The thing about it is that those that come in about 1/3 to 40% of them people coming in are from the active duty services, and so they graduate people that are trained to take care of those who go into harm's way. During the Iraq wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, about 50% of the docs that were out there in country were graduates of the school. They tend to be career, just like the Navy, West Point, the Naval Academy, and so forth. And so it's an investment that the country has made. It's done, I think, proven to be very, very efficient and productive in producing military docs who are willing to go out and serve all over the world.
Yeah. Well, you're, of course, one of your sons, Brian's a medical doctor in the
yeah,
service.
Brian, our son Brian, went through the Uniformed Service University. He was a battalion surgeon in Iraq during 2006, 7, and 8. He's still in the reserves. He lives in Denver, still practicing medicine.
Yeah. Well, look, it's just remarkable to look at all of the different kinds of service that you've rendered. I know you worked also in the Bush administration on veterans policy and veterans issues and chaired a board there. And we want to salute you for all of your remarkable service and sacrifice for the country and your continuing devotion to the security of the United States. And for all those reasons, you're a local hero.
Well, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Everybody in America is indebted to you.
Yeah, thank you so much.